the iPhone 17 Pro. So I've had this phone for about 3 months now. I had the iPhone 15 Pro Max prior to this phone. And I enjoyed the 15 Pro Max, but there were things about it that were really bothering me. It got really hot. It was a large phone. It was kind of a brick. And there wasn't a lot of innovation with it. I did like the fact that it was the first generation to move away from Lightning to USB-C. That made it easier. I did like that. And the cameras were good and all the things that you want from a quality iPhone. It performed really well besides some of those things. And battery life was lacking compared to other devices. Some of your Android models, especially coming from China, they were really innovative with the battery. So I was really kind of getting tired of the iPhone performance. But what kept me in the iPhone 1 was the cameras and the video quality of those cameras, and just the cohesive nature of being in that ecosystem. Those are the things that just keep you coming back to Apple products. I'm not going to lie, but I did some research, and they were, watched a lot of reviews about the 17 models. And for me, it's about every couple of years I will upgrade my phone. That's just kind of been my MO for the past several years. I get tired of the phone; it's paid off, and if I can get decent trade-in value, then I will do that. And that's what happened this time. T-Mobile was offering a pretty good trade-in value for our phones. My wife also upgraded to the iPhone 17 Pro. One of the things I was looking at the iPhone Air. I was really interested in that form factor. I liked the fact that it was easy to handle and it was really thin. And then when I did go to Best Buy, I picked it up and I looked at it and I thought, oh, wow, I could really get used to this. And then I turned it around and I saw that little camera and I'm like, I started second guessing it right away. I was like, when I want to use the camera to the full extent that I can use it, I want it to be there. It kind of solidified the fact that I wasn't going to get the iPhone Air after looking at it and seeing that camera. I'm just like, no, there's just no way one camera would suffice what I would want to use it for. And so when I looked at the back and I saw that one lens, I was like, nah, I don't think so. I don't think this is going to be something that I could put up with. And so I started second guessing the idea of getting an iPhone Air. I was like, there's just no way one lens would suffice my camera needs, even though I'm far from a professional videographer, photo taker. I don't maximize my phone's capabilities at all. But there are things like the telephoto lens. If there's something that I want to take a picture of and that's available, I want to be able to use it. And I want the quality to be pretty good and consistent. I take a lot of video of my dogs and lately with my unboxings. And so I just wanted that good camera in my hands. I didn't want to limit myself in any way, especially at $1,000. Like the iPhone Air was. Like if I'm gonna spend $1,000, I'm gonna spend a couple $100 more and make sure I get those three lenses, right? It just return on investment. If you're going if you're gonna spend that much money and lose that much capability, there's not a return on your investment. Even if you are saving a couple $100, you aren't really going to be saving that money in use case scenario. You're just going to be like going without at a high end price. So I kind of got away from it, even though the form factor was really something that was enticing. It was the one lens. And then, of course, you heard more and more about the realities of the battery life and all that sort of thing because of how thin the phone was. It moved me away from that. And then everybody was talking about the base model, how great the base model was. It's now got the ProMotion 120 gigahertz refresh rate and all of this sort of stuff, and the really quality screen, and with the new front facing camera technology iPhone used with the wide angle and being able to shoot in 4K 60. It was all like, oh hey, well, why spend the extra money for a pro model when you can get the base model? But again, I was looking at all the people that were saying this, all the YouTubers and reviewers were saying this sort of stuff, like, "Oh, go with the base model. You don't need a pro phone. You're not going to maximize that use anyway if you're not a pro." But then again, I looked at it and I saw the two lenses and like, yeah, I'm saving a few $100, but with my trade-in value, I'm only spending a couple $100 for an iPhone Pro 17. So I did the math and then I looked at the base model, and sure, trade-in value, I wouldn't have been paying much more than I think the phone would have been a almost a straight across trade. Um, I think T-Mobile at the time, it was really inexpensive, but I was like, I'm gonna spend a couple $100 more to get the Pro phone. I want that third lens. If the return on the value, if I'm gonna keep this phone for a couple of years, I want the best phone that I can get. And I feel like this is where a lot of people in the review space, in the content creation space, in the tech world get it wrong. Sure, the phone's great. And if you're not a power user in a sense, and if you don't worry about the little things and you're just using the phone for FaceTime, and okay, you could probably get away with an iPhone 17 base model and be very happy about it. Let's say you've never had an iPhone Pro phone. You're not knowing what you're missing. You're going to be able to maximize the use out of the new technology and you're good to go. Just get the base model. Fine, I understand that. But a lot of these people that were saying get the base model, a lot of these reviewers are reviewers that have 2 and 3 phones in their pockets at all times. So, hey, they may have the iPhone 17 base model, but they sure as heck have that Pro phone in their other pocket, right? That they can get out there with the telephoto lens and shooting 4K 60 frame per second on the front facing camera, or they can even get up to 8K with some of those phones at 30 frames per second, and they're not with with that third lens, they're not missing out on anything. So when they're telling you to get the base model, and you've already been a iPhone Pro user, I think that is kind of misleading in some regards. I don't think it's like immoral or anything like that. I just think it's kind of tone deaf in a way. And again, this is where I feel like the more professional YouTube gets and the more corporatized YouTube becomes, we kind of lose sight of real use case scenarios for real people. I'm not using the Blackmagic app a whole lot. I think I've played around with it a couple of times. I just want to point and shoot and go. I want the high end frames per second. I want the pro quality and the extra features that this phone offers that the base models don't. I just want that to be able to be there when I need it. And if I'm going to keep the phone for 2 or 3 years, the return on investment is getting that. Sure, I'm going to pay a couple $100, $300 more up front, but in the 2 or 3 years that I have the phone, I'm going to get the use out of those extra features. And I think the average person is. I really do. Let's face it, Apple really pushes you to get the pro models and then spend a little extra money for the pro phones and all of that. So they're pushing people towards the pro models to begin with because of all the features and the profit margin for them. They get a bigger profit out of it, right? And that's why they limit the features on the other phones, and they pump all the uh, quality of life features on the pro phones because they want people to spend a little extra money so their profits can be higher. And then, like I said, if you're going to keep a phone for 2 to 3 years, and an iPhone that's going to hold its value, if you're like me, every couple of years you're going to get a decent trade-in value. So when the iPhone 19 comes out, I'm going to have a pretty good trade-in value for it, right? And so hopefully, if this tech crash doesn't continue and everything starts to get worse, maybe I won't upgrade for another 3 or 4 years, but we'll see. We'll see how this goes. If you're paying attention to the news, it's looking kind of bleak in some regards, and I fear that phones are not going to be escape this new world that we're living under, with the AI boom. Um, uh, yeah, that's a rabbit hole that for a different video, I guess. Or well, there's other channels out there that are much more knowledgeable than I am that check out some of their takes. It's not looking good. But anyways, I watched these reviews and I was just kind of like taken back by just how tone deaf a lot of these reviewers were, and it just became they were parroting the same thing. And you watch the news, you see those video clips, and you see uh, 20 different nightly local news channels saying almost the exact same thing over the same news story. That's kind of how I feel about tech YouTube in some regards. It's like it's a mad rush to say the same things, and why are they saying the same things, and where are they getting this script from? But it's an interesting thing, and if you pay attention, you kind of get an idea of what might be going on there. But again, I'm not here to debate that sort of stuff at this point. I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just trying to talk about positive things, and it just. But I want to hear from real people and real use case scenarios. So I'm hoping that you comment below and tell me your experiences with your phone. Are you an iPhone user? But anyway, so I went with the iPhone 17 Pro, and I had the iPhone 15 Pro Max prior. And, I was worried about the size difference. I don't have the greatest eyesight. I need to get my eyeglasses. I hate wearing glasses, so I've been putting it off. I got my eyes checked. I got my prescription. I just haven't gotten my glasses, but I need them. And So I was worried about being able to see the font and see the picture quality and strain my eyes even more than it's already being strained. Um, but I liked the form factor and being able to hold it with one hand and do things like text and all of that sort of stuff. It's perfect for my hand size, right? Um, the Pro Maxes, again, it's still a two-hand phone for me. I'm not a giant. I don't have huge hands. I can't palm a basketball really. And it's a brick in your pocket, and I have a job that isn't really tied to a desk anymore, so I'm going from place to place to place during the day, and having that in my pocket or anything like that, it just was a little bit cumbersome for me to think about having that. And being able to hold this in the stores, and I was like, this is a perfect form factor. And I opened it, and I'm like, this is not that much smaller. I'm not losing a lot of font size or anything like that. It's just more comfortable to handle in my hand and all of that. And then taking pictures, I could do it with one hand basically now, and I just like that, the idea of that. My wife was the one that was really apprehensive, and she's still on the fence because she likes the bigger screen. Um, when she watches videos or when she's doing FaceTime or anything like that, she's the one that's still on the fence about losing some of that real estate. But for me, the form factor was perfect. I just like the size. I like the comfortability of handling the smaller Pro phone, and it's been so far um, my favorite iPhone at all time. Not just because of the form factor, but also the quality. I think the cameras are great. I think they really took a leap in performance. This all could be in my head, I don't know, but I really feel like they're more consistent in a lot of ways. And then the front facing camera, being able to shoot 4K 60 frames per second, and then having that wide angle lens when I could just use it like this. Oh man, how awesome is that to me? And I hate short videos. So shooting vertical, you know, I want to flip the camera off and tell you how much I hate short form video, but vertical video. But anyway, so I like having that and being able to use my phone just like this and know that I'm going to get the 16 by 9 type of dimensions, and it's great. It's absolutely great. I love that. And it's made the everyday life with this phone much better. And then just man, I love this color. Normally, white is not something that I normally get, but I have two white things now. I'll be talking about eventually my new laptop, my new PC laptop, the Lenovo Legion 7i. And if you haven't seen that, look that up. It's a white laptop. Man, I'm digging on the white, man. I'll tell you. My wife got the orange one because she got talked into it by me and the sales rep. Uh, Black and orange is her colors for her real estate team, and so it's her team is just her and her sister. So, but anyway, so black and orange is the colors of Oregon State, and we have Oregon State alumni in our family. And I like the orange, and it looks nice, but this is 10 times better. 10 times better. Looks slick. I love it. Yeah, so this I'm really happy with this phone. Just the performance, the battery life, been amazing. I know that the Pro Max's battery life would be even better, but I don't care. I mean, I throw this on the charger every night anyway. By the time I get home, I throw it on the charger. I'll have close to 100% when I go to bed, and then when I get home from work, I'll put it on the charger again, type of thing. So once a day, I charge it anyway. That's how I pretty much do all my phones. And I get a full day use. I don't get a whole bunch of use because I'm not on it constantly like I would be if I had a desk job. It's a better battery life than I did with the Pro 15 Pro Maxes. Hasn't really overheat. I haven't felt it really get super hot or anything, so that's been really great. Yeah, I've been very happy with this phone. And don't listen to the reviewers and these tech gurus because if you want a pro phone, get the pro phone. You're going to miss out on some of the features in that third lens if you don't get it. The base model, if that's all you had, stick with the base phone. You're going to be happy with the upgrades. But if you ever had a pro style phone, don't get the base model. You're not going to be happy. You're not going to get your return on investment, especially if you're going to keep the phone for a couple of years. Spend the extra couple $100 and get the pro models, and you're going to get your return on investment. I made the mistake a few years back. I got the 12 mini and absolutely despise that phone. I got rid of it as soon as I could. I turned it in and got the Pro Max phone. I hated that phone. It was junk to me. It didn't. Yeah, people love the form factor and all that, but it was just hogwash as far as I was concerned. And so I was really disappointed that I fell for the hype over the mini phone. And because I had the 10 Pro Max prior to that, whatever they called that. I can't remember if that's the way they called it, but yeah, I had the big 10 Pro phone, and then I went down to the 12 mini, and it was a bad decision. Anyway, I'm really happy with this purchase, and I think if you're an iPhone user and you're thinking of upgrading, don't wait till the 18 or anything like that. This is a great phone, and this phone will last you 2-3 years, and you'll be happy, and then you can trade it in and get your return on investment on that level as well. You'll get a decent trade in value, or you can sell it on eBay or whatever and still get a nice clip of change to put towards another phone. And if you are going to get one, get the white. Yeah, get the white. Orange, it's okay. It's nice enough. The blue, not really a fan of it. But this just looks sleek to me. I really like this phone. The just and again, I'm not even a guy. I've never had a clear case. I've never had a clear case. I hate clear cases. Always have. I've always gotten a black case or a dark blue case that fits. I like kind of a grippier case. I even would get the foldable kind that look like a wallet style case, because I like to be able to use it like a stand or whatever. But with this, I'm rocking the clear case because I just love the looks of it, and I've gotten like the gold color iPhone and whatever else, just whatever was available, because I didn't care, because I was just going to throw a case on it. So yeah, but this to me is the best looking iPhone out there ever for me. I really enjoy it, and I don't think I'll ever go back to the Pro Maxes. The Pro size is a perfect size for me. Just like I'm now a dual PC Mac user, I want to be a iPhone Android user as well. So eventually I'm going to enter into the Android world. I will have two phones at one point in time. But I got to wait for the right phone. I was going to do the Google Pro phone, but I wouldn't purchase due to the impending apocalypse with PC RAM and storage and all of that due to the AI gold rush. I bought a Mac. I got the PC laptop, and a couple months later, just recently, I bought an M5 MacBook. So now I have two computers. I'm in the PC and Mac world, and they're newer models. And so I should be good for 3 to 5 years, hopefully. So I just didn't want to take a chance and wait for this to end. I foresee the future of this weird time that we're going to be living in is going to last a couple of years with this AI gold rush before the bubble bursts. I'm not making any predictions. I don't know exactly the economy behind it, other than it seems a little convoluted and a bit contrived in a lot of ways, and it doesn't seem all that real. I think there's a lot of weirdness going on there, but that's for a different video. Anyway, again, if you are an iPhone user and you're thinking about upgrading, or you might want to wait till the 18 and you're coming from a 14 or even a 15, I would say don't wait, just get it now. These phones are, the upgrades that they came with, and you can look those up. And just the looks alone too, you can't beat it. Yeah, I just think that they're just really good phones this year. I just think the upgrades are exactly what iPhone should have been doing all along, and they're definitely a positive, a net positive, and a good return on your investment this year for these models. So yeah. Anyway, that's it for me. Thanks for watching and joining me for my journey with tech. Thank you.